What is up, guys? It is DMG here, and today we're going to be doing the instructions on the 433-5, which is also known as the 433 false 9. And before we get into it, I hope you guys had a nice holiday break away from school and just, all that stress and stuff. Hopefully you spent some good time with your family. So for me personally, I celebrated Christmas and I got some nice presents as well. One thing that I asked for was pretty much just a lot of Stance socks, which is like a brand. It's just a brand for mainly socks, but they do other stuff. Pretty much I just make crazy stuff, like crazy socks, so like Cubs socks, country, I don't know if this is supposed to be countries, I think it is, it's like country socks, Jackie Robinson socks, which is pretty sweet honestly, some nice like polka dot dress socks, and then like some like animals like sharks and stuff, so that was pretty sweet. I got some other stuff, got some Arsenal stuff, including this Arsenal jersey right here. Of course, I had to get the Arsenal jersey. Now, you may be wondering who I got on the back. I did not get anyone. Did not get anyone on the back because between me and my brother, every single jersey that we have gotten with a player's name on the back of an Arsenal jersey has left. For example, RVP, Nazari, Fabregas, Adebayor, Eduardo, all of them gone. All of them gone. So we've decided not to get any names on the back of Arsenal jerseys because they will eventually leave. So as much as I wanted like an Ozil jersey or a Sanchez jersey, they will leave if one of us gets their name on the back of an Arsenal jersey. I got some like other Arsenal stuff as well. I got like an Arsenal jacket, which is pretty nice. But the main thing I got, which is really nice, is the new Elgato. The new Elgato has like better frames per second. I think it allows me to go to 60 frames per second. I don't know if my computer can handle that. We'll see. But hopefully we can do that. Plus it allows me to stream as well. So, if I can get it all set up, I do have a mic, I do have a webcam and all of that. If I can get it set up with actually, solid quality, then I might actually stream within the next few weeks. So hopefully that all works out. Now I also want to know what you guys got for Christmas or for whatever you guys celebrate as well. Just leave them in the comments down below. And without further ado, let's get into the instructions for this team. So, center backs, never really change anything. Only things that I do sometimes change would be interceptions, but in this case, I'm not going to do anything. For the left and right backs, again, it's pretty standard on stay back while attacking. That's what I normally do for most formations, and in this case, it's no different. I have my right and left back on stay back while attacking. Now for the midfield, I have my center defensive mid on man mark and stay back while attacking. For most defensive mids, I usually do have them on stay back while attacking, but I also have it on man mark because I kind of got some help from Twitter asking what some instructions should be, and people were saying to do man mark for defensive mids, or for center mids you want staying back. And during the weekend league, I actually found that really helped a lot. I mean, I didn't really do that well still, honestly, but that was me being unlucky. That was just me not playing well. But for the most part, defensive mids were actually doing pretty well, like intercepting the ball and just being pretty good and being where they're supposed to be. So for defensive mid, I have him on stay back while attacking and man mark. Now for the center mids, I have them both on the edge of the box for crosses because I don't want them going up too far and then getting caught on the counter. But one thing that is up to you guys is whether or not to keep them on balance attack or on stay back while attacking. Now if they have high medium work rates, I would probably recommend them on stay back while attacking because then they will actually, with high attacking work rates, they're still going to get forward. But that way, if with the medium defensive work rate, still they might get back as well. But it honestly just depends on the game that you're playing. If you're playing someone who just really counters really hard, then I might recommend them on stay back while attacking, because then if they don't, then they're going to get forward a little bit, and if you lose the ball, then you're going to get countered really hard. If you're playing someone who's a little bit weak defensively, or who just can't really attack very well, and you're just pretty strong defensively, then I would just recommend it on balanced attack, because then your center mids will go forward and you will have more support. So, pretty much it's up to you. It's up to your play style. It's up to you, what your opponent is doing. If they're counter-attack heavy, probably put your center mids on stay back while attacking. If you're really good defensively, or if the opponent is not good attacking-wise, then you can probably get away with having them on balanced attack. Now for the attackers, for the left and right wing, I have them both on cut inside and getting behind. For me personally, I kind of like playing through the middle. So, if I get it to my center forward or to one of the center mids who's kind of a more an attacking position, they will cut inside and obviously get in behind. They will be making runs like that. So, if one of them's open, I can just go over the top. But, you know, if that team is pretty defensive, if the team is playing defensive, they won't always cut inside and they won't always get in behind. So sometimes they will also stay out wide to provide an outlet as well. And so that's for both the left wing and the right wing. Now for the center forward, I have him on stay central and false 9. Stay central because, you know, I have these other guys just cutting inside, getting behind, and plus they're also out wide to begin with, so I don't really want my center forward to be straying out left and right. I want him to be staying central and just kind of provide kind of like a center attacking mid type of feel. You know, which is kind of that he's just there and he's able to always hopefully provide an outlet pretty much. Now I also have him on false 9 because, you know, I want him to kind of come up a little bit because these players, my wingers, in a way are kind of acting just like wide strikers. They start out wide, but then they're cutting inside and getting in behind. So in a way, they're similar to strikers. So I want my center forward to be kind of playing as kind of a, you know, center attacking mid. So he kind of comes up and shows for the ball. That's what I've noticed for people who are at, you know, when you put them at false 9, they actually show for the ball. Whereas, you know, if you have them on target man, they'll stay there, but they won't actually try to go get open. You know, false 9, they will come to the ball, they will get open for you. Now for the custom tactics, these are just kind of some of my personal custom tactics. For build up play, I have the speed at 75 because I like to go really fast, honestly. And for the passing, I like to go 35 just because it's a little bit short. I don't really like going long passes all the time. So, you know, the only time I'll do it is if it's over the top. I won't go, you know, center defensive mid all the way, you know, all the way to my left and right mids or left and right wingers making a run forward. I won't normally do that. So, you know, 35 passing, that's short passing, so it allows me to kind of play that tiki-taka style that I personally like. Now for chance creation, I have the passing at 70, crossing at 40, and shooting at 80. This is another thing that I got from Twitter. You know, I had trouble getting players to make runs, so I have the passing at 70, so then it's a little bit more risky, so players will be making some more runs. For me personally, I don't like the cross, so I have that on 40, but again, that's kind of more of a personal thing. You know, if you have a center forward who is more of a tall target man striker, for example, Mandzukic or Higuain, you can probably put the crossing up a little bit more because most likely you will be crossing it into Mandzukic. And then for shooting, I have it at 80 because me personally, I take a lot of shots, take a lot of long shots, and then I think personally, people will just get open for shots more. People will provide, it will just get open so they can shoot the ball. Then for the defense, I have the pressure at 65, the aggression at 90, team width at 45, and defender line at cover. So pressure at 65, I'm pretty sure that's just the default settings. That's just normal, which I did that for the majority of the time, and, you know, it's fine. Now for aggression, I have this at 90, which is extremely high, extremely high. The reason I have this at 90 is because during this weekend, I found that players were extremely unaggressive. Like, I've been saying that pretty much all year, but this was, you know, the weekend that really just kind of pissed me off about that the most, because there would be times where a center back or like a striker was kind of in front of a center back, not necessarily, you know, shielding him, but just in front. The ball was slowly rolling toward him, and the center back would not just move around the striker and get the ball. They wouldn't do that. Or, you know, if the ball is wide open, no one around it, a striker from 10 yards away would come and get it instead of a defender 2 yards away. So I really want them to be more aggressive. Just not even to the point where they're like overly aggressive, just to the point where it's not unrealistic. Honestly, that's what I've noticed, is that players are ridiculously, unrealistically unaggressive. That's what I've noticed. So the fact that I have it all the way up, yeah, they may be a little bit more aggressive than, like, you know, just like balanced aggression, because for me personally, I like to have them a little bit more aggressive. But for me personally, I've noticed that they're not like crazy overly aggressive at 90. They're just a little bit more aggressive to the point where I like it. Honestly, that's what I've noticed. And then for team width, I have it at 45. You know, I don't really like to go out wide that much, only to provide outlets. That's the only time I like to go out wide. So team width is just a little bit narrower. And then defender line, cover, that's pretty standard. I usually do that. So then I don't have a high line, and then, you know, I don't get over the top through a ball by Vardy or, you know, Rashford or something like that. So that is probably going to be it, guys, for this instructions video. If you guys have any questions on it, just let me know in the comments down below. And if you have any other suggestions on what to do for other formations, let me know in the comments as well. But anyway, guys, that is going to be it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. This has been DMG. Peace. Is that German? Okay, it's German. That's Tony Cruz. Okay. I wish that was Royce. That's the second walkout, though.